We're back with Congressman Jason Chaffetz. He's the chairman of the Oversight and Government Reform Committee. Mr. Chairman, your committee, you released a report concluding that the State Department has been prioritizing architectural design over security at various embassies around the world. What are the problems you see?
Well, when Colin Powell was doing it, we had standard embassy design. These things were coming in under budget, ahead of schedule, beautiful buildings. When Hillary Clinton took over and the Obama administration, they prioritized and they changed it to design excellence. The problem that I see is these buildings that were in the $35 million range are now coming in at $250 million. That happens in Mozambique and in Zimbabwe, and look at what's going on in Port Moresby. And so in a post-Benghazi world, we got to have safe and secure buildings. But after 2 years of investigation, we have places like London that is literally more than $1 billion. And when component testing was done on the blast shield, there were some real questions as to whether or not it could withstand a blast. And now we're concerned that the embassy in London won't open in February as it was originally planned to do.
Eliot Engel, the Democratic congressman, the ranking member of the House Foreign Affairs Committee, he says your numbers lean on inaccurate information, making partisan claims rather than attempting to find real solutions to keep our brave men and women safe in an increasingly complex global environment. Your reaction to his accusation that what you're reporting now is partisan?
Well, 100+ pages of reports, footnoted every single step of the way. I think the report speaks for itself, and maybe he should have read the report before he issued a press release, because he had no possible time, I'm sure, to go through and actually do that. The reality is that if we don't open the embassy in London on schedule in February, as they've assured us every step of the way, then the American taxpayers will pay $100,000 a day to keep the doors open, because we sold the other building. And if you can't move into the new embassy, you have to pay a lease payment back to the new owner, and that comes out to more than $100,000 a day. And it could go all the way, at least when we're hearing from whistleblowers, till the end of 2017. So a very costly mistake and a huge concern. But I'm proud of the work that the committee staff and that we have done, literally over a 2-year period to make sure we get this right.
Because Congressman Engel, among others, they say instead of investigating these embassies, which are relatively small amounts of money, you should be investigating the reported $125 billion in administrative waste over at the Pentagon that was reported today in the Washington Post. What's your answer to him when he says investigate that waste? Don't waste your time on relatively modest sums of money.
Well, modest sums of money in this case end up being billions of dollars, and shame on us if you think that $1 billion here and there is just chump change and a modest amount of money. It comes up to a lot of waste, fraud, and abuse. The report that came out of the Pentagon suggests that there was $125 billion that was misspent, or that certainly could have been reduced in dramatic ways. I mean, that money we're trying to scrape to get to the fighting men and women out there, make sure they have the equipment, but they have this bureaucracy now, this overhead that I'm sure President Trump and certainly the Congress wants to get after, and very worthy of looking at in every single aspect.
So your committee will look at that as well?
Oh yeah, absolutely. The Armed Services Committee will also be looking at it. It's something we just became aware of, and the fact that the Pentagon tried to bury this report, at least that's what I'm reading in the news accounts, is very concerning to us.
That's real waste, $125 billion. Mr. Chairman, thanks for joining us.
Thank you, Wolf.
Later